Do you really think you know everything about Lee Min-ho, the face that helped take Korean dramas global and turn K-dramas into a worldwide phenomenon? Because behind the flawless visuals, iconic roles, and massive fan following lies a story filled with pain, survival, discipline, and transformation that very few fans truly understand. And today we're diving deep into the real life of one of South Korea's most beloved actors, uncovering the moments that shaped him long before fame ever found him. From devastating accidents that nearly ended his life to quiet personal struggles, career setbacks, unexpected talents, and relationships that unfolded under intense public scrutiny, Lee Min-ho has often surprised fans with his honesty in interviews, especially when asked about his famous kissing scenes, humbly stating that he doesn't consider himself a particularly good kisser because there's no universal standard for what makes a kiss good. Yet despite this modest claim, his on-screen performances in dramas like The King, Eternal Monarch, Boys Over Flowers, and Pachinko are consistently praised for their emotional intensity and realism, something he explains by saying that once filming begins, he completely disappears into the character, shutting out embarrassment or self-consciousness, only realizing how awkward those scenes truly were after the director calls cut, a method acting approach that helped make his romantic scenes feel authentic rather than staged. Beyond acting, Lee Min-ho developed a rare and unusual skill, ambidexterity, not because he was born with it, but because life forced him to adapt after injuring his right hand, pushing him to rely heavily on his left for everyday tasks, something that eventually rewired his coordination and gave him greater control over physical movement, a trait that later became surprisingly useful on set, especially during action scenes, emotional blocking, and physically demanding roles. Long before fame, Lee Min-ho lived a relatively normal teenage life, experiencing young love like anyone else, having two girlfriends before becoming famous, one during high school and another during university, and he openly shared that his first kiss happened while he was still a student, right outside his girlfriend's house, a memory he recalls with warmth rather than drama, even laughing about a time when he once stayed on the phone with an ex-girlfriend for an unbelievable 13 hours straight, something that shaped how he views emotional intimacy and communication in relationships. Tragedy, however, entered his life early and left permanent marks, especially during the filming of Boys Over Flowers in 2009 when his co-star Gu Hae-sun was involved in a serious car accident on the same day as South Korea's prestigious Baeksang Arts Awards, an incident that caused facial injuries requiring stitches and temporarily halted filming. And what many fans don't realize is that Lee Min-ho was the first person to reach the accident scene, personally rushing her to the hospital, an act that earned him respect not just as an actor but as a compassionate human being, strengthening the bond between the cast during one of the most demanding periods of their careers. Yet even that frightening incident pales in comparison to the darkest chapter of Lee Min-ho's life, which occurred in 2006, years before he became a star, when he and actor Young Il-woo were involved in a horrific car accident that claimed the lives of two close friends sitting in the front seats, leaving both survivors severely injured, with Young Il-woo suffering brain hemorrhaging, memory loss, and broken bones, while Lee Min-ho endured devastating injuries to his thigh, ankle, and knee cartilage, forcing him into months of hospitalization, intense rehabilitation, and uncertainty about whether he would ever walk normally again, let alone pursue an acting career, a period Lee Min-ho later described as emotionally shattering. As he struggled with survivor's guilt, physical pain, and fear about his future, spending nearly 7 months in recovery, watching life move on without him, just when it seemed fate had tested him enough, Lee Min-ho survived another serious car accident in 2011 while filming City Hunter, when his vehicle collided with a truck and was completely destroyed from the front, a crash that could have easily been fatal. Yet somehow he walked away with relatively minor injuries, later admitting that these repeated brushes with death fundamentally changed his mindset, making him value discipline, humility, and gratitude over fame or public approval. Despite his image as a charismatic ladies' man, Lee Min-ho's real romantic history has been surprisingly limited and carefully guarded, with his first officially confirmed relationship happening in 2011 with City Hunter co-star Park Min-young, a relationship acknowledged by both agencies but short-lived due to overwhelming schedules and constant media pressure, followed years later by his highly publicized romance with Suzy, a member of Miss A and a rising actress at the time, a relationship confirmed in 2015 that lasted around 3 years and drew massive attention from fans and tabloids alike, with both stars attempting to keep things private while navigating public scrutiny. Eventually parting ways in 2017 due to conflicting schedules and career demands, Lee Min-ho was born on June 22, 1987, in Seoul, South Korea, and early in his career he briefly used the stage name Lee Min, a decision he later reversed after joking that searching his name online led to confusion with immigration-related terms, prompting him to return to his real name, a move that coincided with his rise to stardom. Few fans know that before acting, Lee Min-ho dreamed of becoming a professional soccer player, training under legendary Korean footballer Cha Bum-kwon and idolizing Cristiano Ronaldo, with Manchester United as his favorite club, until an injury during elementary school forced him to abandon that path, redirecting his ambitions toward acting, a decision that would eventually change his life and the global entertainment industry. Success, however, did not come easily, as Lee Min-ho spent nearly 6 years working in obscurity, appearing in small roles, sitcoms, modeling gigs, and even working as a test model where he participated in shoots that never made it to final commercials, often feeling invisible in an industry obsessed with instant success, until everything changed in 2009 when he landed the role of Gu Junpyo in Boys Over Flowers, a character representing a chaebol heir, the Korean equivalent of a billionaire conglomerate successor, catapulting him to instant stardom across Asia and eventually the world. Beyond acting, Lee Min-ho maintains a deeply personal life centered around family, including his beloved miniature pinscher Choco, whom he adopted as a puppy and who bonded closely with his sister, A. relationship Lee Min-ho often jokes about, sharing humorous stories about Choco's strange habits that humanize him in the eyes of fans. Professionally, his career is managed by MYM Entertainment, co-founded by his sister, reflecting how tightly controlled and carefully curated his career decisions are, prioritizing longevity and artistic growth over short-term hype. Even today, Lee Min-ho continues to evolve, with confirmed reports of his involvement in the upcoming film Omniscient Readers. Viewpoint, starring alongside major names like Jisoo from Blackpink, Ahn Hyo-seop, and Nana, signaling his ongoing transition into larger, more complex roles that challenge his range and global appeal. Lee Min-ho's journey is not one of overnight success or manufactured fame, but of survival, resilience, patience, and relentless self-discipline. A reminder that behind every flawless screen image lies a human story shaped by pain, loss, and determination. And if you want more deep, real stories like this that reveal what fame truly hides, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay with us until the very end.